What is going on, you guys? Welcome to the Rated C Podcast. This is your host, Cristopher Zamora. Welcome to another episode. So today I want to start with the Steam Deck. I have had this system for just 1 week. And I have to say, man, this system is just great. It's a really awesome system. I have taken it almost everywhere that I have gone to, like to the gym, sometimes when I go out. It's a really good system, and you can actually get really good games for really great prices. Some games that I have bought are Indiana Jones. I'm not sure the actual proper title for the game. I think it's called Tombs something. I'm not really sure, but I used to play that game. Well, it was actually a demo for the Xbox, and now I have the full game. And you know how much it cost me? Just $2. $2 to get it on the Steam Deck. And I noticed that you can also customize the controls however you want to play the game. I had trouble figuring out how to play this video game because it's a very old game, and the cool thing is that there's a community tab where people have actually made like customizations, like how to actually play this game. And so I used one of them, and it works very well. Just the thing is that there's always like a small line following the character wherever he goes. But other than that, this game is just great, man. I'm enjoying this game. You know, the crazy part is that I've never actually seen an Indiana Jones movie. I've seen a few parts of the one that Shia LaBeouf is in with Harrison Ford. That was like the only one I've seen a few scenes of. But so far, I'm enjoying the video game. It's a really fun one. You guys already know that I bought Dead Space. To be honest, I haven't been playing Dead Space for some time because I've been just trying out different games. But dude, the game is still fun. Dead Space. Just the sad thing is that you can only just get it like an hour and 30 minutes of playtime for that video game. But for other video games, it also really just depends, because I actually get around 3 hours or so of playtime for Batman Arkham City. Batman, the Arkham games, those games were the best when I was young. I remember getting the first one, Arkham Asylum, during Christmas time, and then playing it throughout the whole night. Dude, it was such a fun experience, I remember. But you know that some games are not supported for the system. I don't know how like people actually play Batman Arkham Asylum. I tried to find it online, but they had to use like this thing called GE Proton. I downloaded it, like I've actually followed the instructions that the person gives me on the YouTube video so I can play the video game. But like, I don't know, the latest versions for GE Proton, it doesn't let me do it. Really have no idea why, but I wish I could play it, man. I have Batman Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and I also got Arkham Knight. The three of them came together, and in total, they only cost me about $16. $16 for 3 games, 3 Batman games. That is such a great deal. But yeah, like the only one that I didn't have any issues with is Batman Arkham City. And my oh my, man, you can play this game in 60 frames per second, and it looks so smooth, dude. Such an experience. I haven't had the chance to actually try out Batman Arkham Knight because I've only just been playing Batman Arkham City most of the time. It just going back to that video game, it's just so fun, man. That game came out in 2011, man. Oof, what a time. I'm guessing 14 years old. Yeah, man. I was a kid. 14 years old. Yeah. And this other video game called Metal Gear Rising. I had played the other ones before, like for Metal Gear Solid. The only one I never really played was the original one. But I have played Metal Gear Solid 2, MGS3, Solid Snake, MGS4, The Guns of the Patriots, the fifth one. Never played Peace Walker because that was on the PSP. And I never really played Metal Gear Survive at all because I don't know why they added zombies for that video game. When I saw the trailer for that game, I was so confused. Who had the idea to bring zombies to Metal Gear? It's just unheard of. It was something that people did not like, including me. I mean, I did bought the game to play it, but at the time I didn't have like great internet, so I had to return the game, which sucks, man. And since the game was already open, I only got probably half my money back. This game cost about $64 when it came out. Yeah, man, I only got. Yeah, I believe I did get like $30 back. But still, man, it's just. It does really suck that I had to spend that much for that video game. Don't get me wrong, I do like zombies. Like, I like zombie video games and I like zombie horror movies. But, like, this doesn't belong on Metal Gear. It really didn't. These games are mostly about sneaking around and using tactical techniques to get around and try to take the villains down. Yeah, it was just so strange. But Metal Gear Rising, dude, this was one of the games that I miss playing while growing up. And now that I have this game on the Steam Deck and can take it anywhere, dude, I played the first chapter for it. And I had to say, man, it's good, but I wish they added like some defense for Raiden. For Raiden, I mean. You're mostly focusing on offense throughout the whole time while playing as Raiden. But like the defense, the only thing you can do for it is just to actually just use the A button like to parry. That's basically what you can do for this character, which really does sucks. I wish they added like a mechanic where you can defend yourself from the enemies. There was this one boss, man. It took me about like 4 times to beat this character, man. It was like a machine. It was one of the bosses. Man. And I had to say that the music was pretty good too. I wasn't expecting Raiden to be so badass. I mean, I saw him on MGS4, but I didn't really get to see him in action, like in gameplay mode, until Metal Gear Rising. And dude, it's a fun game. I'm enjoying the heck out of that video game. And like I said, I have downloaded Batman Arkham City, Indiana Jones, and I'm guessing those are about it. And the Dead Space one. I will come back to Dead Space and finish it. But there's other functions as well that you can do for the Steam Deck. Like if you actually bought the dock for it, you can just watch movies from Google Chrome, like Netflix or HBO Max. But the best part is that you can connect almost any controller to the Steam Deck, which is a winner, man. Which is something so awesome. There's no other system that I know of that can do that. So this was something cool, man. Like the PlayStation 4 or 5 controller can be plugged in on the Steam Deck, and you can play it just like that, like you actually have a PlayStation with you. It's so cool. Because I've been playing with my PS5 controller, like older games, like Metal Gear Rising or Batman Arkham City. Just the only thing is that I could not play Indiana Jones, the Tomb game for the old Xbox or PlayStation. Yeah, it just really did suck because I don't know, you have to actually modify it to make it fit on the controller, which I do not know. And if you check on the community tab, they don't have no actual settings to actually play the game on a controller. So for that game, I can only really play it handheld mode, which sucks, but that's fine. I have other games I can play. Oh, and I almost forgot. Left 4 Dead 2. Dude, if you guys have played Back 4 Blood, Left 4 Dead 2 was the OG one before Back 4 Blood. And dude, I remember playing those games with my cousin. It's just a very fun time, especially Left 4 Dead 2. Just running around, just killing all these zombies. Such a very fun experience. And now I can actually play it again with my cousin if he ever wants to come here. Yeah, it's a really fun experience, just like how it was when I was younger. I think it only really did cost me about $8. I'm guessing it's very cheap. Really, they have very good prices for these video games. Not all of them, but like most of them, they do. They have really good prices. The one game I'm really looking forward to is Resident Evil 4. I'm thinking if should I get it for the PlayStation 5 or should I actually get it for the Steam Deck? I have options, man. I have options if I wanted to just play it on the TV for the PlayStation 5, or I can actually just take it with the Steam Deck everywhere I go and just play it like that. I don't know, man. I really am wondering, what should I do for that? Oh, now, guys, I want to talk to you about Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. So I went to go see that movie, and I had to say, it's okay. It's not great, not bad. It's just in the middle for me. Most of the movie just took place in the quantum realm, and they had to use all CGI and stuff like around them. There's a lot of CGI in the background and the characters as well. I bet this movie was very expensive to make, but I had to give this movie probably a 7 out of 10. Since it was around 11 in the morning that I went to go see this movie, I was a bit tired, and I think I might have fallen asleep in one important part. The important part where they were explaining Kang's storyline. Kang the Conqueror. He's supposedly the new baddie after Thanos, and he's going to be the main one that the Avengers are going to fight. Well, I don't even know if the Avengers are going to fight him, because there's brand new characters coming up in the MCU. So I don't know how they're going to do it. We already know that the Avengers, the Kang Dynasty, is coming soon, and it's going to be awesome. So yeah, man, it's going to be a really awesome movie. But for me, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, it wasn't as great. It felt like they were only focusing on Kang the Conqueror, and it didn't really feel like an Ant-Man movie. Not like the other ones. Because like in the original one and the second one, it really mostly focused on his family and just like his own character. But like on this one, I feel like they had to sacrifice Ant-Man just to focus on Kang the Conqueror. Like they needed just like a not a huge character, so King the Conqueror can come out. He has come out on Loki, but don't get it twisted. That's not the same King the Conqueror, the one that came out on Loki with the Quantumania movie. They're two different variants. So I'm gonna go just like a few spoilers. It's just like a 10-second spoiler. So I'm gonna speak about the post credit scene for this movie. So guys, just fast forward just like 10 seconds or so, or 15. So the thing about King the Conqueror, there was a lot of villain variants for the post credit scene. This was out of this world. I had never seen that many variants for King the Conqueror. This is gonna be huge for the Avengers, the Kang Dynasty. I feel like MODOK, they should have made him more of a superior character. I know that King the Conqueror is the main villain next to Thanos, but MODOK, I think he should have been like the one that brought most of the villains together. Like I feel like they sidelined him so much in this movie, and they just killed him off just like that, which did suck because it would have been cool if he actually came out in more films or even on the TV shows. Yeah, man. It is what it is for that movie. You know, the crazy part is that Catherine Newton, she came into the MCU. She plays as the daughter of Ant-Man. And I have to say, after seeing her in Supernatural and the Society, I think it was cool that they actually brought her in for the MCU. I remember watching the Society, man. I wish they never did cancel that show, dude. It was such an awesome show. They only had one season, and due to COVID-19, that's when things went sideways for that show, and they had to cancel it. Back in 2016, 2017, I noticed that she has come out on the Supernatural show. I was watching it back then. It probably took me 2 to 3 years to actually finish the whole show. And she played a good role as well on that TV show. So it was awesome they actually brought her in. But again, with Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, I think I should have just stayed home and wait for it to come out on Disney Plus. I don't think it wasn't worth just watching on the movie theaters. But again, if you're a huge MCU fan, then you should go watch it while it's still in theaters. But like for me, I found the movie that it was okay. It wasn't the best, but it was fine. I should have just waited for Disney Plus. Like an example of one movie that you can actually just watch in movie theaters and that is worth watching is probably the Avatar movie, the one that came out early this year. Avatar 2 was such an amazing movie. It was so cool that actually did remind me of my favorite movies growing up. Like for example, King Kong was one of the movies that I remember watching in theaters. And I was a little kid just watching the movie, and not once did I fall asleep on that movie. And the movie was 3 hours long, but I was entertained throughout the whole time. And that's what happened with me with Avatar 2. I was so entertained, and it was such an experience that probably I won't forget watching that movie in theaters. I never did see the original one, but Avatar 2, watching it in theaters, was good, man. Such an awesome movie. But you know what? The movie I should have watched instead of Quantumania, I think I should have watched White Powder Bear. You know that movie, Coke Bear. I believe that movie it was worth watching that movie more than actually watching Quantumania, because it's actually getting great reviews, which is awesome, man, because people do not really like horror comedies. That's what I really notice about the horror community. They don't really enjoy it because in horror, and they just believe that horror should just be scary and frightening and terror, no happy stuff. But like, there's actual good movies out there. Like for example, Shaun of the Dead, and also Zombieland. Those are actual good movies that had the elements of horror and comedy on it. And I believe that Coke Bear, it's one of those good movies as well. I haven't seen it yet, but I should have watched it instead of watching Quantumania. I did not notice that it came out on the day I went to go see Quantumania, on the 24th of February, which sucks, man. I should have just saw the movie instead of wasting my money on Quantumania. But again, I do not hate the film, nor do I love it. I'm just in the middle, and I gave the movie a 7 out of 10. That movie, Coke Bear, it just seems so interesting that they just made a movie like that. It's actually based on a true story. The real story for Coke Bear is not really like how the movie is portrayed. Supposedly, in 1985, there was a bear that actually found cocaine, but like instead of just going crazy like how it is in the film, he just only passed away. That's what I saw from just researching for Cocaine Bear. But like, since Hollywood got their hands on the story, that's when they actually made the bear as a killer animal, a rabbit, a rogue animal. I'm guessing it's a fun movie, and I wish I went to go see that one instead, dude. But oh well, yeah, maybe next time. Oh, and I had to say that Megan is now on Peacock, the unrated version. I still haven't seen it yet, but I actually did enjoy watching Megan in theaters. The PG-13 version was good, but I don't even know how great is the unrated version. Supposedly, the main reason why Megan was released in PG-13 was because it got very popular. It got very popular on Twitter that they wanted as many people as possible to actually go see this movie. And I think it was a smart move. Having the PG-13 version in the theaters and then just accumulating that money for a month and then releasing the unrated version on Peacock a month later. Smart move from them. But yeah, man, I don't know how bloody or violent the movie is, but I will watch that movie someday. Oh, and last but not least, guys, I actually got a new picture. If you have not noticed yet, right there, there's the Tim Burton A Nightmare Before Christmas picture of Jack Skellington and Sally when they're on the mountain and Oogie is stalking them on the moonlight. Yeah, I actually found that photo frame and had to say it was very cool, and I had it to get it, man. I actually do like Tim Burton's movies, and I actually did like how they actually framed this picture, so I had it to get it, man. My favorite movie from his, it probably might be Corpse Bride. Maybe. I hadn't really thought about it, but the one that mostly comes to my head first is Corpse Bride, and then is Charlie and Chocolate Factory. Well, guys, I think that is it for this podcast. Hey, thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed it and would like to hear more, make sure to follow this podcast wherever it is you're listening to it. And also, make sure to recommend it to one of your friends or family members if they also enjoyed horror. Anyways, guys, that is it for this podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Subscribe to it wherever it is you're listening to it. Take care and live to the fullest. Bye.